right?
Yes, good.
April 20th. And somebody asked me a question about Shikshastakam. Because we hear, let me see, I'm finding where it is. There's two ideas. Someone asked me how to synthesize and understand these concepts. On one level, we hear, and some people talk about it and write about it, we should want, as a Krishna Bhakta, we should want to go back home, back to Godhead. We should want liberation. We should want to go to the spiritual world. That's on one side. On the other side, we hear that Kapila Muni preaches in the third canto of Bhagavatam, chapter, we just had it, 29, verse 27 or something like that. He said, I don't want any kind of mukti if there's no seva. Because there's many devotees that attain prema, Vaikuntha prema, and go to Vaikuntha and live there with the same form as Vishnu, or the same opulence, or the same, or living on the same planet. They're not doing any seva. So that's also described in Bhakti Rasamrita. We'll get to that verse also. There's two kinds of devotees in Vaikuntha. One is Premutara, and one is just say praying something Uttara, and one is Seva, praying Seva Uttara. One has praying is doing Seva in Vaikuntha, the other one just has praying is just enjoying Vaikuntha. So you can go to Vaikuntha with desire to enjoy, with spiritual desire, not with desire material. Who's an example of that in the 10th canto? Kuja. Did Kuja have prema?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Why?
because she wants to enjoy with Krishna.
She didn't have love for anyone or anything in this material world, but she had love for Krishna. But her love was mixed with lust, selfishness. She wanted to enjoying Krishna. So that's called Sadharani Rati. So the word Sadharana means ordinary, common attachment, which is, I'll give you something, I'll take something else. Give and take. It's ordinary love, ordinary business love. Mostly love is like that. So, on one side we have, I want to go back home, back to Godhead. Then Kapila Muni is saying, I don't want to go to Godhead if there's no seva. And then we also hear Lord Chaitanya in the Shikshastra, what does he say? He says, I don't care, I just want to serve Krishna. So how do we understand these two? One aspect is people are eager to get liberated and go to the spiritual world, back home, back to God. Another level of understanding from Lord Chaitanya's perspective is we shouldn't desire liberation. The devotees condemn liberation. The Lord Chaitanya himself is condemning it. He said, I don't want liberation. I want praying seva of Bhagavan. So is one wrong and one's right? What's the situation? Well, you may have an answer. Sri Krishna ji?
I have an idea that maybe the one that doesn't have seva might have a small amount of just the desire to escape suffering.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not completely selfless. You want to get out of the suffering condition you're in.
Well, the point is correctly stated, but it's not exactly the answer to my question. My question is, of these two seemingly opposite ideas, Lord Chaitanya is saying, we don't preach liberation. We preach Panchama Purushartha, the fifth goal of life, which is pain saver on Krishna. There's Chaitanya, because there's Shatra Purushartha, which is what?
Moksha.
Dharma, Arth, Kama, Moksha. Ramanandi Sampradaya preaches moksha. Madhva Sampradaya preaches moksha. Vedic Sampradaya preaches moksha. The Vaishnava Sampradaya preaches moksha. But the Gaudiya Sampradaya preaches seva. It's a big difference. We should know the tattva. So when we're saying we should get liberated, not now. We should get liberated and go to Godhead. Oh, yeah, you're going to answer my question. We should get liberated and go back home, back to God. That's the goal. What's the goal of life? You interview anybody in the world, what's the goal? They say, go back home, back to God. That's correct. But my question is, which of these two is correct? To want to go back to God or want to have praying seva, birth after birth? The answer is they're both correct. One is correct for the beginner, and as one advances in bhakti, then he'll understand what he'll have experience of the characteristics of bhakti, he'll have experience of Shubhada and Kleshagni and Moksha Lokuta Krit and Sandrananda Vishesharma. He'll have experience of the bliss of bhakti, the bliss of seva, then he'll have conviction that I'm doing bhakti, I'm in the spiritual world, I'm with Krishna, right here, right now. What say something? I can't read it.
Temperature, iPhone needs to cool down.
What about my phone? Phone means speech.
Okay.
The phone is hot. Yeah, the phone is hot. That's pretty cool. This broadcast has been temporarily canceled because of heat. Our iPhone is sweating. Our iPhone is having ecstatic symptoms. The sattvic bhavas are being displayed by the iPhone mobile. This is a special feature of iPhone. You see sattvic bhavas. You should get an iPhone and watch your phone sweat and melt. And stand on end.
The phone needs a siddhi of tolerating.
He has no Gita. The Sikshra, no, what's that word? Madan Swami. Cheaters, Sukadukada, Agavapa, Yodi, just thousand six hundred about it. Shita, Ushna, cold and hot. Ushna means hot. That's funny. So, to answer this question is that, because we're usually personally speaking against liberation. Why? Because we're Gaudiyas, and Lord Chaitanya preached against liberation. He preached seva. Seva, seva. Dasasmi, Jivara Sarvaya Krishna Nityadas. I'm eternal servant of Krishna. Dadana Najana Sundram Kavitam Vajradishagami Mama Janmani Shri Bhagavad Bhakti.
I hate to keep right.
So birth after birth, just let me do seva of Bhagavan Krishna. That's all. I'm a servant of Krishna. That's all I aspire for. That's all I need. That's all I want. That's all I will do. Here, now, and forever. Here, there, anywhere, forever. And that's good. So in the beginning, a devotee doesn't realize the beauty of bhakti, the bliss of bhakti, the satisfaction of bhakti, doesn't realize the all omnipresence of Krishna, because he's a prakrita bhakta. So his only ambition is to go back home back to God. I was like that myself. When I joined in 1975, I had the idea, I'm getting the hell out of here. This material world is terrible. It's all birth and death and old age and disease. And there's so many wars and crimes, and it's not a nice place. So let's go. You're saying there's a beautiful place called Vrindavan, and all cows and parrots and the rivers and lakes, and Krishna's playing the flute and dancing, and kissing and romancing and throwing colors and big party and music and food. It's like a good place. Let's get going, man. So I read the Back to God magazine. I sold 50,000 of them. We used to sell thousands of magazines every week. Back to God, back to God. So you get brainwashed, you know, back to God. Back to God, back to God. And then I did more bhakti. I realized, hey, what's the Shikshastika prayer? What's this all about? So, to give more illumination on this fourth verse of Shikshastikam, the essential teachings of Lord Chaitanya, I'll quote the teachings of Ananda Swami from his book, Shikshastikam, Commentaries on Shikshastikam. So, on this verse number 4. He quotes the verse from Bhagavatam we had the other day from 29th chapter. Can a pen go faster? Mind this pen, it's too slow. Flies all over the place. I think that's the wrong fan or something. It's the same, it's not.
Yeah.
Are you going any faster?
Yeah. Some more.
Huh?
Some more.
Yeah.
Some more.
A slow guy. Okay. So he quotes a verse. Even if I offer devotees residence on my planet, opulence like mine, a form equal to mine, a place close to me, my devotees do not accept it if they can't serve me. Such devotees only desire pure devotional service. Therefore Mahaprabhu said, Mama Jamani Jamani Shri Bhagavad Bhakti Haitaki. O Lord of the universe, I only pray for bhakti, birth after birth. One may ask a question here. Will such a pure devotee have to suffer birth and death again and again? Mahaprabhu personally told Son Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada, this is that verse from onto the left. What question did I ask? Will a devotee
Will a devotee suffer birth after birth here in this material?
Because Lord Chaitanya said, I'm ready to come back for another birth. So you're coming back means you have to take birth. Birth is miserable. So what's the answer? Very interesting answer. I mean, the brain of Ananda Swami is amazing. If you were asked this question, how would you answer it? So this is the question. If a pure devotee, because Lord Chaitanya is pure devotee, representing pure devotee, so really advanced bhakta, he's ready to take another birth to serve Krishna. So what's the answer? On to chapter 4, verse 192, 193, 194. Prabhupada Vaisham Deya Prakriti Kabunai, a Prakriti Deya Bhaktara Chidanandamai. The body of Vaishnava is never material. The devotee's body consists of pure transcendental bliss. Prakriti Deya, Chidanandamoy. The word Maya or Maya in Bengali means made of, composed of, compressed. Premaya means made of love. So that's Radharani. She's famous Rupini Radharani. Mahabharata Rupini. So the question is, well, if you're a devotee who takes birth, yes, it's ever birth. Not necessarily. Most people, when they're born, they suffer. But not everybody suffers. Like most women, when they go through menopause, they suffer. Showing pains and hot flashes and backaches and a whole big long list of miseries. But I know someone who had menopause when they're 42 and they just stopped having a period and that was it. That was it. They had a period 1 month, next month didn't have it. That was it, nothing. No, not one single complication. So that's good karma. They were a great devotee. They were devotees from birth, worshiping Radha and Krishna also. So they're very fortunate people. So the devotee's body is not material, his body is spiritual. So he knows I'm experiencing so much bliss in this life practicing bhakti. If I take another birth, I'm going to be miserable, I'm going to suffer. No way. If you're afraid of taking another birth, it means you're not a bhakta, basically. It means you're a prakrita bhakta. So a beginning devotee will want to go back home, back to Godhead. And that's good. But you should advance to the point where you're ready to take another birth after birth because you're experiencing the bliss of bhakti and the presence of Krishna in your heart, in your life, and for you, in the beginning it's coincidence. As you advance in bhakti, it's Krishna's personal hand moving every single inch of your life. That you'll see clearly, no doubt about it. You begin to say, oh, I don't know. Is this my karma? Is this my karma? It's just a coincidence. This thing out. You had 27,000 coincidences, and still you don't believe in Krishna. Okay, let me tell you one thing. I'm going to give you a different mantra to chant. Coincidence, coincidence, coincidence. Incidents go, coincidence, coincidence. Incidents go, coincidence. Chant 16 rounds of coincidence mantra. Because for there's no such thing as coincidence. Everything is Krishna moving all the pieces. Not a blade of grass moves without the will of God. Chiranavi Srishina Tori Vasvishina Amanida Manadina Kirtanisa. Trina means grass. Be like a piece of grass. So what else we have? So at the time of initiation, Diksha Kali Bhakta Kori Atma Samarpan Say Kali Krishnatari Amasaran. Mahaprabhu says, when at the time of taking Diksha, a devotee surrenders himself to Guru. At that time, Krishna considers the disciple equal to himself. Say Deya Tari Kori Chidanandamoy Aprakrita Deya Kori Charana Bhajai. Now after being initiated in that spiritual body, one engages in the service of Krishna. That's it. So, not just explaining how a devotee doesn't mind taking another birth. His commentary on Shikshastikam, 4th verse, what is it? Nadandan, something like that. Automatically, the devotee is all free from all karmic reactions. It causes an ordinary person to take one birth after another in the material world. A devotee takes birth in the material world according to Krishna's wish, not because of previous karma. That's pretty cool. This is a Vaishnava philosophy. One must take birth until he or she has attained prema. which is beyond liberation. And this perfection cannot be attained without accepting a material body. Even after attaining prema, a devotee may still again take birth in the world, simply to be able to relish the sweetness of sadhana bhakti. That's really cool. In practice, therefore, the repeated birth and death of a Vaishnava is not a miserable affair, as in the case with conditioned souls who suffer tremendously while accepting and giving up their material bodies. In Uttarakhanda Padma, God, this guy is so brilliant. And Nanddas Babaji is so brilliant. His commentaries are amazing. He quotes a verse from Padma, Nakarma bandhanam janma vaishnavanam shavidyate. You should know that a Vaishnava's birth is not the result of karma. Vaishnavas do not take birth because of the bondage of karma. He's supporting this verse from Puranik, from Padma Purana. He's supporting his point. Vaishnava, the secret is that Krishna does not let the devotee know this fact. You'll know it. Otherwise, his humility will be lost. I'm just here because of Krishna. I'm special, man. Don't you know who I am? I'm a Chittagotra. I just came from Krishna, my big buddy up there. His humility will be lost, and when humility is lost, then bhakti is nash. That is why devotees also think that they will have to accept birth and death because of the bondage of their karma. And this is why Prahlad prays to Lord Nrsimha. Wow, how does he go from here to there, connects all the dots, you know. This reference, that reference, this reference, and puts them all to the commentary. This is brilliant. Right. You study so much and no computer knows all. And yeah, the best library over there. Just look. I used to go see him back in the 80s, like 89, 90. And he's sitting at a little desk facing Radha Kunda, which is not considered the right direction to face. He's facing south, where his room was set up. If you're across the street from Gaudiya Vaisnava, you're looking towards Radha. You should, when you study, you should face north or east. Face north like that, or east, but not south. But his desk was facing south because there's Radha Kunda and Radha Gopal's right across the street. And behind him was bookcases. The other side is bookcases. And across the hallway, there's a whole 10,000 square foot library. It's above the lecture hall. You know, about
the whole lecture hall.
Whole lecture hall, the library. Thousands and thousands of books. And on his desk, he's writing, desk is an angle like this. There's like 20 books on the desk. He's writing. Amazing. I saw my own eyes. A little laugh. So inspiring. So Prahlad prays, O Nrsimha, I may have to take thousands of births according to my karma. And there's different species. I may take birth, but may I have devotion for you. Vidyavati, poet Vidyavati similarly prays. He always quotes some bhajan, Bengali bhajan. According to my karma, I may take birth again and again as a human being, an animal, a doggy, eating tomatoes or Radha Kunda. Dogs are carnivores, they eat birds and meat and all this stuff. And the dogs at Radha Kunda eat tomatoes. They're Bengali dogs. They were Babas in their last life. Who knows what they were. There's one dog who follows the way around And they give him biscuits, he rejects the biscuits. Give him roti, he rejects. Give him tomatoes, he goes crazy. He even comes up to the person buying sabji. He comes up and rubs their nose on the leg, looks up, you're buying tomatoes for you? Where's mine? Okay. Here's your half a kilo of tomatoes. What kind of dog is that eats tomatoes? Tomato eating dog. I mean, come on. Bark the dog. Mahaprabhu said, "Oh Krishna, let me have causeless devotion to you, birth after birth." In the beginning of Bhagavatam, Sutta Muni gave Shaunaka and the sage definition of pure religious principle. Savai Pumsa
Paradharma yatho bhaktirah
Ahaitukya
pratihata suprasidati.
The supreme dharma for humanity is devotion to Krishna, who is adhokshaja, beyond the material senses. Such bhakti is causeless and unhampered and fully satisfies the soul. Sridhar Swami explains the word haituki means no desire for any fruit or result. Wow, amazing commentary. He is successful commentary to this one. Anyway, it's about being, he quotes a lot of verses about being a servant of Krishna. He quotes the 6th canto Bhagavatam, Richard Sura. It's very interesting because the whole purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam is what?
Leading to
Teach
gopis.
prem. Teach prem.
The whole purpose of Bhagavatam, as Govinda Das correctly said, is to teach and show and reveal the love of the gopis for Krishna, especially Srimati Radharani. That's the whole purpose of 18,000 verses are just also to say one thing. The supreme devotee of Krishna is Radharani, and the supreme expression of love for God is found in Radharani. That's the whole message of Bhagavatam. So the first scent of Gopi Prema comes in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam. Where?
Vritrasura.
Guys
Prayers.
are too smart. In the story of Vritrasura. Who is Vritrasura?
Chitraketu.
Chitraketu was a Gandharva. He was a Vaishnava Gandharva. And he had a lot of girlfriends. He got little Gandharvis. He used to fly around in a flower airplane and sing bhajan, Vishnu bhajan, with his female girlfriends. And somehow or other, he made some offense of Shiva, Parvati, I guess.
Yeah. Lord, yes.
And it wasn't really an offense anyway. It's Leela. He's a great devotee, so whatever he does is inspired by Krishna. But Shiva was giving some discourse to some rishis, and he was naked.
Keeping Mother Parvati on his thigh.
And Parvati was sitting on his side. Rishis didn't have any problem with that. Everything was cool. He was singing Hari Katha. She was singing Hari Katha. His wife was sitting on his side. And King Chitraketu thought that was a little funny. He's a little humorous type of Gandharva. So he made a mistake. He laughed at the wrong time, at the wrong person. He laughed at Parvati and Shiva. And Shiva is cool. He's he didn't bother him. Well, his wife, his wife is a little hot. She wasn't so shanti. Of course, maybe she doesn't take bong either. I don't know. Shiva keeps herself pretty shoddy. But his wife maybe doesn't share the chill. I don't know about the intricacies of that worship, but at any rate, part of the story is in 6th canto of Bhagavatam. Parvati became angry or showed some anger or displeasure at her, which is her right and her proper response, because she felt her husband was being offended. Her husband is a Vaishnava, so she's also a Vaishnava, so a Vaishnava should get angry if someone offends another Vaishnava. So she was correct in getting angry. She got angry at Gandharva, other devotee, but he misbehaved, so she got angry. And she cursed him to become a Rakshas. But he's such a powerful devotee, King Chitraketu, I guess he was a Gandharva king, he could have counteracted that curse and not done some prayaschitta, not become a Rakshasa. But he said, okay, I'll honor Parvati, and it's okay. So he became a Rakshasa, became an enemy of Indra. And then, but he was a devotee. So he offered many prayers in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam. And these prayers are 6th canto of Bhagavatam, chapter 11, verse 24 through 26. 3 prayers which are dripping with Gopi Bhav. The mood of Sharanagati and total dependence and taking shelter of Krishna and crying out for Krishna's mercy in Viraha Bhav, in separation. So the first scent of Gopi Bhav in the Bhagavatam comes midway, 6th canto of Bhagavatam, from the mouth of a Rakshas, Rishasura, who's actually a great devotee. So the acharyas write extensive commentaries, all the Vaishnava commentaries, very extensive commentaries on Rishasura Upakya, prayers by Rishasura. Many great acharyas have given Hari Katha, Bhagavad Katha on Rishasura's prayers. I went through some of these prayers of my guru, and he first explained them to me. They're very nice. You can see Vishwanath's commentary, 6th canto. So he quotes those verses here. So just imagine Radharani's praying like this. Oh Hari, I am a servant of those devotees who are fully surrendered to your lotus feet. And I will remain so. O Prananath, sound like Radharani? May my mind always remember your qualities. May my words always glorify your attributes. May my body always be engaged in your seva. That's Radharani. O ocean of good fortune. Oh, what's going on? How is it? What is the sense? Ocean of good fortune. I don't desire heavenly planets or lordship of the world, nor a position of Brahma or mystic cities. I don't want mukti if it will separate me from you. O lotus-eyed one. This is Radharani, a love song of Radharani. I only desire to see you. Just as a small bird has no wings, desires to see its mother. A calf desires the udder of the cow, or a wife desires to see her husband who has gone to a foreign country. So, none of those comments, he gives, Vishwasura is giving different analogies of a bird, of a calf wanting the udder milk from the cow's mother, and of a separated wife. And he says Vishwasura wasn't satisfied with the 2 examples So he prayed, Priyam Priyeva Vyushatam Vishana. I desire to see you just as a sad wife desires to see her husband who has gone abroad. It is clear that this relationship is the most intense one in love. A faithful wife will die if her husband dies. Regardless of whether she is young or old, if the husband has gone abroad, she has a strong desire to see her husband and please him with her seva, for she has given her life to the husband. Similarly, Rijasura has no other desire in his mind but to see and serve his Prananath. That's right, Radharani. So Rijasura's prayers are Gopi Bhav, Radharani's Bhav. So that's the answer to the dilemma. Beginning devotee, it's good for a beginning devotee to want to get out of this material world and go to the spiritual world. But one should advance to the degree of bhakti where he just wants to serve Krishna. And he's happy to take another birth because he knows that Krishna will make arrangements for him to serve him. Because who made arrangements for us to serve Krishna in this life?
Krishna.
Krishna. Brahmanda Brahmatikam Bhagavanji Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai Bhakti Bij. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. I was reading here because in this book I have a photocopy of Maharaj also. This is A4, it's his homemade book. So there I saw a verse, last Shruti Fal Maharaj Shiksha by Raghunath Das says Shri Rupa Nuka. Rupa Nuka. We are the followers of Shri Rupa. So I have to do some more research. But generally I've never seen, if you search out the term on folio Rupa Nuka, you'll Andrews you'll find it from IGM. But I'm going to search now Sri Rupa Nuka. Because Raghunath Das Goswami, his Diksha Guru is Yadunandan Acharya, who's going to wait to Bhagavan. He has great love for him, and he has always mentions him in commentary, in his books. Offers Mangalcharan, Vilakusarandra. So he's his real Diksha Guru, and he really has a relationship with him. It's not a family guru. Some people sometimes say he's family guru. That's not correct. He's Diksha Guru. With the Bhagavan. But however, the Bhajan Shiksha Guru who taught him Mandri Bhav Upasana, and who learned everything from the Priyojana Acharya to become the Priyojana Acharya, he learned from Rasa Acharya Rupa Goswami. So all his books, every poem he wrote, he has prayers, pranam prayers to Rupa Goswami. So in that Manasik, he says, Shri Rupa Nuka were followers of Shri Rupa. But actually, I recorded that. Yeah, I guess. Actually, we're followers of who?
Rupa Raghunath.
Rupa Raghunath. Rupa Raghunath Anuga. Anuga means Anuga, Gamana, to go after, to follow after. We're following after Rupa Raghunath. Rupa Goswami is Rasacharya, and Bhajan Bandri Bhav Bhajan Acharya is Raghunath Das Goswami. But Raghunath Das learned everything he taught from Rupa Goswami. We don't know what he learned from Sri Damodar. He was appointed by Lord Chaitanya, told him to stay under the shelter and guidance of Sri Damodar Goswami in Jagannath Puri for 16 years, but we don't have any record of what he learned there. And we don't find any record of it in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But what he learned from Rupa Goswami is very clear. All his books, he reminds us that he learned everything in all these books from Rupa Goswami. He doesn't give credit to Sri Damodar Goswami. He repeatedly mentioned Rupa Goswami throughout Stavavali. That's an example of the Shiksha Guru becoming more prominent than the Diksha Guru. Right? Diksha Guru, we don't know what he learned from Nanda Goswami, but we know he learned Vaishnava behavior. So he always respects his Diksha Guru, always mentions his name. But the content of his books, he's always, you can write down a list how many prayers are Yadunanda Acharya, how many prayers are Goswami. So go through slowly. You'll see like 30 prayers for Goswami and 5 prayers for Yadunanda. So Shiksha Guru is very prominent. So what other questions do we have? Anyone in the audience have a question? Sri Krishna?
Yeah, I was reading the Bhavna Sangra, and it's
That's good.
Yes, for the 100th time. And,
That's even better.
yes, and I noticed in the water sport.
No escalator.
No, it was wonderful. Raj Brumi took her in her heart. That's very
Yeah.
poetic, very nice. Anyway, the water sports, it delineates 24 minutes for their water sports, and it took me longer than 24 minutes just to read it.
Just to change your Jody.
So, could you explain a little bit how time works with the midday pastimes, how they can do so much in 24 minutes?
Question is that there's so many pastimes that Radha Krishna do throughout the day. It's inconceivable that that amount of pastimes can happen in 24-minute intervals, which are called danda. Sri Krishnadas wrote a small pamphlet called Dandatika Seva. He divided the 24-hour days, 24 hours in a day, he divided into 60 24-minute periods. Because 60 times 24 minutes equals 24 hours. So every 24 minutes, there's 20 pastimes. So how is it possible? Because there's no time. It's being measured by time. It's just this many pastimes. Each pastime may take an hour of our time, but for them it's just going, when it's done, it's done. It's like, we think that Radha and Krishna just danced for a few hours, but they thought they danced for a day of Brahma. So time is in your mind. You know, Einstein read a whole bunch of theories about time. E equals mc squared. Time is relative to speed and space. So their speed is fast, and their space is vast. Their speed is fast, and their space is vast. So it's beyond time, it's timeless. The word is ananta, ananta kal. They don't have watches, they don't have sundials. There's no Konark here in Braj. There's Surya Mandir, that's just for joking. Surya Mandir is where you go to joke and laugh. And the joke, the biggest joke is on the boss. No, the biggest joke is on Radharani, because she has to bow down to the boss. It's the only place in the whole Braj Mandal where Radharani bows down to Krishna. Tricky question. Where is the one and only place in all Braj Mandal? Shrasti Kosh, 168 square miles, thousands and thousands of acres of property. There's only one place in a vast 12 Maharaj Vrindavan where everybody laughs at Radharani. She has to bow down to Krishna. Where is that? Surya Kund, in the Surya Mandir. She bows down to a bogus Brahmin who has a bogus name. Vishwa Sharma, universal clown. Vishwasarva. Great joke. There's one place that Mandris don't like.
Yeah.
They call it Amavasya Mandir. A dark place for them. They look the other way. Oh, Mandri, don't look. The Guru Sakhi immediately puts her hands on the Seva's eyes. Don't look. Why can't I look? You're too young. I'm only one day younger than you. That's young enough. Don't even look. You can't bear it. You're not mature enough to. You're not mature enough to understand what's going on. Just break it to pieces. You're only 12.99. I'm 12.98. I'm 12.99. I can understand all these things. What a day. Wow, day, right?
So it's like a very big contradiction because Surya is like a bright spiritual being, and also in Manjari Baba, as you said, it's Amavasya for Manjaris. So dark and light, completely opposite.
Yeah. Achintya Veda Veda says it. It's inconceivable, understandable and not understandable. One and different. Veda and obeyed. The self-luminous Swaprakatam with Samavasya. What to do?
Krishna also, for everyone, he's Bhagavan and he.
Huh?
Krishna also, he's Bhagavan everywhere and he offers.
Krishna is Bhagavan everywhere except in Vraj.
Yeah, that's right. Krishna is Bhagavan everywhere. Except Braj, he's Bhagavan. The word Van means possesses. When it possesses Bhagya, it's Bhagavan. Like everywhere Krishna is Bhagavan. Aishwarasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yasasasya
Jnanam Vairagya
Jnana Vairagya Vairagya Saiva Sadguna Sadguna Iti. Yeah, there's six Aishwarya abhyans of Krishna. Unlimited wealth, unlimited beauty, strength, renunciation, etc. So he's Bhagavan. When he possesses Bhagya, Bhaga. But in Braj, he's Bhagavan. He's possessed by enjoyment. They show us Bhuta Pravesh. Bhuta Pravesh means a ghost has entered into you. Bhuta Gamana. Bhuta Gamana, the ghost has gone inside. Ooh. Ooh. Watch out. They say you shouldn't whistle. People whistle are ghostly haunted, you know that? Because whistling pierces the calm, pierces the ether, because on the other side of ether, ghosts living. Other side of ether is mind. So when you whistle, the ghosts have an opportunity to enter your mind through the ether. So you live in a place where somebody's whistling, they're inviting ghosts. Whistling invites ghosts. And you take a chalkboard, and that sound splits the ether and lets ghosts come in also. You take a knife and scratch glass,
also.
Ghosts come inside. If you leave a room with the curtains closed when you go, ghosts come inside. While the curtains are closed, it's dark in that room, they come to the darkness. So you can leave a light on, close the curtains and leave a light on to make sure it doesn't go out while you're awake. The better thing is leave the curtains open. The other night someone was saying, you were upstairs in one room and Gopika Swami was in another room. So I went there to go in the room the other day. All the curtains were closed because there were ladies there staying after the appearance of Radha Kunda. So they were shy, so they closed the curtains. So hey boy, hey boy, get along over the curtains. So these are rules, these are realities. So what's the question? What are we on? Next question. John Buddy's turn. It's called handpick. No, what I think
It's first one. There are
pecking order.
no, it's first.
You're a junior around here, so your turn now.
So, Nityananda Rasa Ashraya Govinda Gopaladasa in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, since the ideal is Manjari Bhava under Srimati Radhika, how should we understand Sambandha Rupa Bhakti, such as the Vatsalya of Nanda Maharaj or the Sakya of Arjuna within our tradition? Are these rasas meant only for appreciation, or can they ever align with the sadhaka's personal path? And further, can a Sambandha Rupa Bhakta ever, by the influence of mercy or inner transformation, develop Kama Rupa Bhakti like that of the gopis? Is such a transition even conceivable in the eternal Leela or only in rare spiritual evolution?
Very eloquent question.
That's a question.
Rupa Goswami describes, the question is about different rasas and what is Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and can you transit between rasas? That's basically the question. So, the general presentation of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is that it's a Raganuga Sampradaya. We're teaching Raganuga Bhakti. Chaitanya Charitamrita says Raganuga Bhakti Prachar, Prakar or something, that Hindi word, Bengali word. The Lord Chaitanya came to preach Raganuga Bhakti, and specifically he himself said, Ateva Gopikara
Gopi Bhava Kori Angikar.
Ateva Gopi Bhava Kori Angikar. I want everyone to angikar, to accept Gopi Bhava. So primarily, all the acharyas in the Gaudiya Sampradaya are in Madhurati, an amorous loving relationship, a mood of amorous loving service towards Radha and Krishna. They worship Radha and Krishna as Rishta Devata. There's a famous verse by Srinath Chakravarti. Srinath Chakravarti is a direct disciple of Advaita Prabhu. He wrote a verse which summarizes the Sambandha Avideya Prayojana of the entire Gaudiya Sampradaya. Aradhya Bhagavan Braja Chaitanya Sri Ram Vrindavanam
Ramya Kaj Kvachid Upasana Brajavadhu Bhir
Brajavarya Kapita
Srimad Bhagavatam
Srimad Bhagavatam Amalam Pranam Prema Bhavartamahan Chaitanya
Mahaprabhu Matamidam
Matam-
Tadadaro Napara.
Matamidam Nat Tatra Ardhara. This prayer, which Prabhupada quoted many times in his lectures, is also in Srila Prabhupada's Sloka, Aradhya Bhagavan Braja Chaitanya. And then Ramya Kachid Upasana Brajavadhu Bir. He said our Ishtadeva, our Aradhya Deva is Krishna Vrindavan. And what Krishna Vrindavan? Krishna. What is our upasana? What is our way of worship? Upasana means way of worship. Ramya Upasana, Vraja Vadhu Bir. We worship Krishna Vrindavan like the gopis, the delightful way that the gopis worship. Vraja Vadhu means young married gopis. And whose idea is this? This is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Mati. This is the Mati, the idea of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nachatra Ardhara. We don't care about any other opinion, any other rati, any other rasa. So this is the essence of Gaudiya Sampradaya, worship Radha and Krishna, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, and Gaudiya Vaisnava, which is called Kamanuga Raganuga Bhakti, which means we worship the Kamadvika Nitya Braja Gopis of Vrindavan, like Rupa Mandri, Rati Mandri, Tulsi Mandri, Lalita Vishaka Radharani. We worship them, become their maid servants Mandris. That is Gaudiya Sampradaya. However, Rupa Goswami, when he's presenting in Gaudiya Siddhanta, he wrote two books, one called Bhakti Rasa Sindhu, one called Usa Nilamani. Usa Nilamani is sort of the majority of Gaudiya Vaisnava. Bhakti Rasa Sindhu is sort of the majority plus the minority. Because in there he describes there's four rasas of Braj. Because Lord Chaitanya came to preach Braja Bhakti. That's why I said Braja Vadhu Bir. Like the Braja, we worship Krishna Vrindavan. So Krishna and Vrindavan can be worshipped in Sambandha Nuga, is described in Bhakti Rasa Sindhu. I personally know people that are worshiping Krishna Vatsayarati. Vatsayarati is called Sambandha Nuga. Means following. Sambandha Nuga means having a personal relationship with Krishna. And Dasarati, Sakirati, or Vatsayarati. And so many Gaudiya Vaishnavas have a mood of Sakirati. So it's perfectly acceptable to be a Gaudiya Vaishnava in Sakirati, Vatsayarati, Dasarati, or Madhurati, all in Vrindavan. So that's, and the other question is, can you change your rati from one to another? There's no changing. First, how do you get a sthirati? A jiva does not have any fixed sthirati. Sthirati is given by sadhu sangha. By sadhu sangha, the jiva, the conditioned soul, takes on the rati of the association that he or she attains. And that begins with Diksha. If one takes Diksha from a Raganuga guru who's situated in a particular sthirati, that sthirati is passed on to the disciple through the mantra process, through teachings, through books, through mercy, and through association, and through seva. So one candle lights another candle. So one candle lights another candle. So a candle Madhurati in the heart of a guru will transfer that rati to a disciple. The disciple is a crystal, he doesn't have any color. He takes the color of his sangha. So when you get that's called sthirati, that's unchangeable. There's numerous examples in Chaitanya Lila of people that tried, the Lord Chaitanya personally tried to change the sthirati of some people. Who? Murari Gupta, he tried to get him to chant Hari Krishna mantra, which is worshipping Radha and Krishna. And Murari Gupta said, I can't do it. I'm fixed in Ram Bhakti. I'm fixed in Ram Bhakti. My Ishtadev is Ram. I chant Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram. And Lord Chaitanya said, oh, glory to you, you're Hanuman.
Anupam also. Anupam.
Anupam, the younger brother, I guess, of Rupa and Sanatan, he was also a Ram Bhakta. And Lord Chaitanya tried to attract him to Radha and Krishna. Lord Chaitanya couldn't change the sthirati. So sthirati means sthai. Sthai means stan, means fixed, unchangeable rati. So you ask the question, do you change your sthirati? Changing sthirati, it's not like the material world. You have one wife one year, another wife next year. And third, you have a third wife. Wife is not Stairati. It's unstairati. That's that. I think that's two questions you asked. Anything else? Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Yes, sir, please speak.
How does Krishna relish the love of his devotees differently in each rasa? And why does he become completely controlled only by the gopis Kamarupa Prema?
What's the first question?
How does Krishna relish the love of his devotees differently in each rasa? First question.
Read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It describes the vibhavas of each rati and the anubhavas and the sattvic bhavas and the sansari bhavas of each of the ratis. I'm not a walking encyclopedia. I'm not a chat GTT, whatever. Chat GTP. I'm not a Google search engine. But I know where you can find the answer. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. You can find the answer. It explains each Sairati and breaks into the 5 components of Ras, which is your question about. What's the Vibhav and Shantarati, what's the Vibhav and Sakirati, what's Sairati, what's the Anubhav, what's the Sattvic Bhavas, what's the Sansari Bhav, what's the symptoms of Sairati. That's the first answer. What's the second?
And why does he become completely controlled only by the gopis Kamarupa Prema?
That's the speciality of Krishna. Ask him. The question is, why does Krishna only become controlled by Radharani? First of all, it's Radharani's 25th quality. That she controls Krishna with her love. Prem Vasi Bhut. She controls, Vasi Bhut means control. She controls with her prem. How does she do it? Because Krishna he's Dearly Nayak. Dearly Nayak is controlled by his lovers. Krishna, he loves beautiful things. Radharani's most beautiful thing. He loves town. Radharani's most town. He loves eating. Radharani's the best cook. He loves dancing. Radharani's the best dancer. He loves music. Radharani's the best musician. He loves singing. Radharani's the best singer. He loves dressing. He's very fancy dresser, but not as fancy as Radharani. So everything he wants, everything he likes, everything he needs, he finds in Radharani. So what's your problem, man? Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. You're such aggressive questions. Relax, no tension. Slow down, man. Chant Radhe, be happy. You chant Hare Krishna, be happy. We chant Radhe, be happy. Yeah.
Can I ask you something that is bothering me with this?
What do you want to say? You're trying to say something.
It is related to the last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
The question before. So sometimes I feel the need to pray for someone that this person like gets.
Me? I need it.
Like Manjari Bhava. I mean, the taste for Manjari Bhava. Like my parents or my friends from ISKCON.
Your mother be a muncher, that's pretty cool.
So you said it's unchangeable, but is it unchangeable in every case? Is it like a rule for everybody or possible?
What are you trying to say? I can't follow what you're trying to say.
She prays Manjari for Manjari Baba for her
Yeah,
parents.
I'm training. Okay, we're done. So what?
She prays that her parents should get Manjari Bhav, her friends in ISKCON should get Manjari Bhav.
That's good.
And from the previous question, she understood that their sthairati is fixed. So
No. You're misunderstood. What's the sthairati is not fixed. You don't have one. When you get one, then it's fixed. Everyone walking this planet has no sthairati. We're anadir bahir mukh. Anadir bahir mukh. We're eternally in the material. We never in the spiritual. And, sthairati works in the spiritual world. It's the eternal loving relationship by which all jivas and parishads are serving Krishna, in particular sthairati. In the material world, no one's serving Krishna. No one has a sthairati. We're eternally here from eternal time. But we can get out by doing bhakti bhajan or by doing yoga or karma, jnana, etc. So sthairati is not fixed. When it's established by Guru, by bhajan, by mercy of Krishna, then it doesn't change. And the other point about praying for your mother and father or friends to take up some bhakti or manjari bhav, that's very good. You can do more than just praying. You can do tapasya also. Tapasya empowers your prayers, gets better result. Because Ekadasi Brata is transferable. In a line of punya, like you transfer money from one person's account to another person's account. So the same thing with punya and also bhakti. You can transfer bhakti. It works on the principle of sankalpa. You make a sankalpa, and you perform a tapa, a brata, and then you pray to Krishna. I'm observing this Ekadasi Brata because I want my parents to become Krishna Bhaktas. So Krishna, please make my mother and father attracted to and inclined towards bhakti. And you do take that sankalpa, and when you finish the brata, do par and break the fast, you say, Krishna, any fruit I get from this brata, please offer to my guru or to my mother or my friend, that they get such and such wish fulfillment, wish granting. And you'll see it works. Because whole Ekadasi Mahatmya has stories like that. Husband and wife are traveling somewhere, the husband gets cursed to become a ghost or something. He becomes a ghost, then the wife travels through the forest, meets a rishi and sage, and says, look, my husband's a ghost, can you help me? And the rishi says, yes, the next Ekadasi, you follow this Ekadasi, you offer the results of the Ekadasi, your husband gets free from the curse of ghost rupa, bhuta rupa. And she does that, brother, and the husband gets the human body again. There's many stories. So this proves the transfer of punya and bhakti to another person. So that's called your asha. Asha, your wish, your hope, your wish. You have to formulate sankalpa and do brata. Then you'll get quicker fruition of your wish. That's the system. Don't just say, I pray. That's good, pray, but you should back it with some tapa. I'm doing this Gaurang Prikma, which is tapasya, padaseva and type of seva, that the better result, because there's so much result you get from doing seva, the result goes for such and such a purpose. And when Prabhupada was sick, all the devotees were fasting and offering the result that Prabhupada would stay healthy and get better. So that's what was keeping him alive. One time Prabhupada said, the prayers and austerity of my devotees can keep me alive. So it's a good thing. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you so much.
What else? Everybody?
Question from Nimai Stansfield. Radhe Radhe, I have heard from some Gaudiya Vaishnavas that the process of bhakti takes multiple lives and quote BRS as the pramana. Can you please explain the process over multiple births?
What?
The process of bhakti, a devotee has to take multiple births in this process of bhakti. And many Vaishnavas, he heard from many Vaishnavas this concept.
Quotation from
And
BRS.
also quotation from Bhakti Rasamrita Singh. Can you please explain that?
Question is, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, takes time.
The question is that the process of coming from ground zero and going to Mars is not so easy. So ground zero means Nityapada Jiva, bound in the material world for millions of lifetimes. How come it may take a few births to get to Krishna? No problem. You keep chanting. You heard from Vaishnavas, why did you read the Bhagavad Gita? Forget about Vaishnavas. Read chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita. You said, I heard from Vaishnavas say, why do you quote Krishna? He's a big Vaishnava. He's God. What does he say? Vrishanam Sahasreshu Kashin Yati Siddhi Yadam Siddha Kashin Mahamidhi.
Bahunam Janmana Mente.
That's 7:3. That's 7:19. Bhavanam
Janmana Mente Jnanam
Prabhadite Vasudeva Samati
Samahatma Sadurlavaha.
Krishna says in chapter 7, verse 3, and chapter 7, verse 19, thousands among men, let's say human beings that endeavor for spiritual life, hardly one knows Krishna in truth. And of those who, and after many, many births, Bahu Janam, one will understand Vasudeva is everything. Now you think, Vasudeva is something, but my wife is everything. My husband is something. Krishna is something, but my husband is everything. Spiritual world is something, but this material, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, is everything. So Vasudeva Saram Iti. Certainly, Vasudeva is everything.
Samahatma Sadurlabha.
Such a great saintly person is Sudurlabha. Sudurlabha. So very difficult, far rare to find. So you're one of those guys. You're a Sudurlabha. Sudurlabha gentleman. But there's another side of the coin. Head and tails. You can become Krishna conscious in 1 second.
Yeah, Katvanga Rishi.
Katvanga Rishi, Vajrasya Sindhu. He was a great hero of the Devatas. And he asked Brihaspati, how long do I live? He said 5 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 minutes. He said, okay, I'm gone. Where are you going? What about your luggage? What about your Rolls Royce? Forget about it. Here's the keys. What about your Gulfstream Learjet? Take it, man. What about your big yacht to Bahamas? Take it. 330 meters, $50 million. Take it. He came to Earth planet, and in 5 minutes he absorbed himself in Krishna Bhakti and went to Krishna. So what do you hang up with your 10,000 verse for? Say the example of Bhakti Sindhu, King Katvanga. He's in the Surya Vamsa, I think.
good.
There's a famous king in the Surya Vansh, Sun Dynasty, King Katvanga. He got perfection in 5 minutes. So Prabhupada used to say, don't take another birth. You finish your business in this life. Chant Hare Krishna, only take Krishna Prasad, don't make any offenses, and go to Krishna. 1, 2, 3. Chant Hare Krishna, take Prasad, don't make offenses. Gone. Success ho jayega. But no ifs, ands, or buts. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. Let's see, it was 5 o'clock yet. What's going
Yes,
on?
Guru. I think it's 5.
Feels like it.
5.8.
5-8.
5.8.
Overtime.
Yes, Guru.
Okay, that's it. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. Very functional.